Welcome to the life. I'm gonna start this with a bunch of oracle, like a shit ton of oracle. This is Sona's personal reading. This is Devising Destiny. I haven't done one of these in a long time. Because usually people like when I get like love readings. So I'm actually kind of happy that this was not that because it gives me a chance to do things more like, I don't want to say more spiritual because I think everything, like every aspect of your life can be spiritual, but this is more like self-focused, self-interest, self-help. So that's the vibe we're going for tonight. Hey Sky. I have like 4 oracle decks I'm gonna pull from, and we're gonna just get into this shit, bro. So starting with the wisdom of the oracle. This card says literally breathe. It came out on its own. Number 29, which comes down to an 11, which is my life path number. So I definitely feel like you're aligned with me if you're watching this video. And that gives me like kind of, I feel like the space to open up and talk about some of the things that have been going on in my life recently. I said that really fast. I honestly, like, my life hasn't been super fast paced. Like, I've been put into a position of kind of like, I don't want to say stagnancy because I truly believe that things are happening. Like, I feel like I get signs that things are happening and like adding up. Like my career goals, I get like pretty frequently reinforced. I've been doing well in business recently. I launched a sale, which is kind of like incentivizing people to engage with my content. My energy, like creatively, has been like resparked. I'm noticing things about myself though that I can do to put myself in a better energy for work. So like as of right now, I think it's like, yeah, it's like 10:41 p.m. on a Friday. Like normally maybe I'd be in bed, but I've been noticing that like I have the energy to do this kind of work at night, which I guess kind of makes sense with the fact that I work with like, spirits. So like these are like the darker hours, like, freaks come out at night kind of a thing. I also have an Aquarius Mars, so I work kind of erratically. Like I can't always pinpoint when I'm gonna be like in the mindset to do this kind of work, which is like the hardest thing about me doing this is like I don't know when I can give, but I do know that I will be able to give. And when I take the actions based on my inspiration, I always come out with the product that people are satisfied with. So I've been like, like in some ways feeling unproductive and then other ways feeling super productive. So maybe there could be an energy here coming in with that breathe card to just kind of like rest in your current position. I know this is a reading about like guidance on where you are currently and how to like kind of manifest things and anything about your path. So right now could be a good time to rest in the present moment. We have mending in the reverse. Number 52. It looks like this. It's a person holding hands with someone else. My mom reached out to me today and I actually like responded to her for the first time in months, and we have a complicated and difficult relationship. And that's what I'm saying kind of about like me noticing what things are changing, even though they aren't the exact things that like they're not the exact areas in life where I was like, hey, I hope that this happens, but other stuff is happening, and I'm in the mindset now. I have the maturity now where I can realize that even the smaller things in between me getting what I want can still like contribute and make the way and create the setting for me getting what I want. So this could be a time to be grateful for like not the fuller culmination, but everything that's still happening right now that shows you that the fuller culmination is like in your future. You replied to your mom yesterday. Cool. So that's like not just me. Awesome. Um, Forgiveness could be an energy that you're called to embrace more. Or just spending time with people who you know are supportive of you, your goals, your aspirations. Or even just better identifying who those people are in your life. You could like, because mending is in the reverse, right? So like maybe not everyone or every situation right now is the most, how do I say, like for example, you could be having some people in your life who you're realizing, okay, yeah, you maybe don't suit my goals, or like maybe you aren't the most encouraging. Like this is like a situation where you're just picking up on the flags as they kind of show up, And it's not that you have to necessarily like take any extreme action. It's more like you becoming more aware of how to direct yourself and your energy. Because there could be some people in your life who have like kind of spinned yarns to you about who they should be or how you should be seeing them. So if there was anything like fraudulent, then it could be a time when you're becoming more aware of like what's real and what's not real. So don't be afraid like to like not mend. Like with mending in reverse, like if there's like, because I used to have this one pair of jeans that I in high school I used to have this one pair of jeans, but it was distressed when I first started to wear it, but then like I think I was playing a sport and I ripped a hole like right in the leg, and it just got bigger and bigger and bigger, and I just kept wearing the pants, and then eventually there came a point in time like my entire knee was out of the pants, and then eventually I was like, hey, I'm not gonna wear these anymore. Like it's not worth fixing, and I can get another pair of jeans. So like I don't know what that situation could be for you in your life, but you might be coming across situations where you're understanding that you don't want to continue to try. Like you don't want to keep going in certain directions. Like even when I came back from the West Coast to the East Coast, like part of me, oh my god, it's raining really hard now. But it's like the weather just changed outside, like just now. Like it wasn't raining and now it's raining. Fuck. What was I saying? Yeah, when I came over here to the East Coast, I was thinking, okay, I used to, like, when I last lived here, I used to work in a daycare. And I was really good at that. But then I was like, no, I don't think I want to keep doing that. So, like, allow yourself to shift here. Because the mending, I think, is this more, like, general energy where you are fixing things, you are improving, you're, like, taking the next best step forward. Wow, that rain is, like, really distracting. Dude, I also was feeling kind of depressed earlier. So I wonder if that's what the rain is here to symbolize. Can you guys hear it? It's just like suddenly pouring. That's kind of cool. I hope you guys can hear it. Because rain is always like a cleansing thing. Like I like rain, but I don't necessarily like to be in rain unless I'm like I want to be in that rain. It just depends on the rain. Like I'm not gonna just like step out into any rain. But when the rain feels good, I'll step out in it. I wouldn't step out in this rain because the Lakers won after Good Friday. If you know, you know. Like, this could be a time when you're noticing, like, I know I'm talking about, like, this is your reading, right? But you could be noticing other people getting their karma. And then you could, like, feel like you need to, like, step out into that rain. But you probably shouldn't step out into that rain. Like, if people are getting their karma, and they're like, hey, like, they're reaching out to you and they're like, yeah, help me, like, I don't want to be in this karma, like, I don't like it. Maybe you don't reach out to grab them. Because that can end up bringing that energy into your life, into your sphere, into your, like, spiritual aura. I want to, like, open the blind so I can see. It's pouring, bro. There's lightning and everything. Another thing, I was like feeling insecure. I was feeling insecure recently about like stuff that I normally don't feel insecure about. So be aware of people around you who want to like switch places with you. I'm seeing flashing lights, which like, and I was also I was channeling Kanye West earlier today. It was like that song where he's like, I need you to run right back to me, baby. So I don't know if you have like an ex or anything like that or what. People could want you to be in the rain with them in some way. And I feel like because I opened the blinds, like, you're gonna see this happening. Like, I feel like God is gonna show you misfortune, if not to make you feel more grateful for your position, then just to make you aware of what's happening to other people as a result of what they did to you. And I know it sounds kind of like baneful, but I don't think that it actually is in this case. Like, I think you could have been, like, I mentioned that depression energy, so that could have been like an intentional energy. Like, people could have tried to make you feel away. Like, someone, something, some situation could have, like, intentionally tried to suppress you. And then it's like you're introduced to that energy. You're reintroduced maybe as, like, clean, is safe from whatever the elements are. And then you get to look out onto everyone else who spent their time trying to attack you instead of building their own shelter. Because I feel like it's people, because you're the kind of person who, like, focuses on building their own safety, stability, and shelter in life. Oh my god, if this gets cut short, it's because the electricity went out. And my phone is, like, literally charging right now, so I hope that doesn't happen because that would suck. But yeah, people who didn't use their resources appropriately on, like, building their own sense of shelter are gonna feel like they are left out. And I'm literally using my alligator. This is Alfie, and he's my ward for, like, negative energy. Like, whenever people send me stuff, I literally created this by hand so that it will absorb the energy of negativity sent towards me. And I have, like, an incense stick, like, burning out of him. It's Alfie Solomon's. Because I get a lot of, like, spiritual, religious persecution in my life. So... And Alfie Solomon is, like, a Jew character in this show I like called Peaky Blinders. And I'm literally looking, I open my blinds. So there could be some kind of, like, energy of persecution coming in your life. Thunder. And if it's not happening right now, it could be in the future. But you have shelter. We have time for a nap in reverse and soulmates in reverse. I mentioned that, like, X energy. It doesn't have to be an actual X. I just get this energy of, like, people who you maybe were aligned with. Because I recently in my life, like, I took a step back from a relationship that I was investing a lot of energy in. And I, like, honestly, it's like, I feel like God has been working on me. Like, for the past 2 years, like, I've been investing into this, like, one person. And I, like, at one point I was like, okay, like, even if this person doesn't, like, become my partner or, like, invest in me at all, like, they're just helping me, like, get through life. Like, every single day, like, just the thought of them kind of, like, helped me move and, like, inspired me to create and all that stuff. And then we have clean it up in the reverse at the bottom of the deck. I don't know if it's even in the reverse. This whole deck is upside down. I, like, never use this, so I'm gonna... It's not really in the reverse. It's just the deck is upside down. But, yeah, like, I was just investing all this energy into this person, and then eventually, like, the last couple of days, something, like, happened. Like, there was a switch. But now, there's nowhere to hide, 'cause you pushed my love aside. Like, someone could have literally, like, gave you the cold shoulder or, like, something, and then, like, now, like, something has switched inside of you, and you're like, okay, like, I'm putting this to rest. And that's what you're supposed to be doing. Like, that's righteous and justified here in this energy. Like, you're meant to be cleaning up your life. And then we have to observe under that and then a leg up. So if you're putting something down, maybe, like, a substance, maybe it's a habit. Even if that was, like, a productive habit, right? Like, because not all, like, not everything that, like, appears productive actually is. Like, I know there was one point in time when I used to, like, voraciously go to the gym. Like, I was in the gym, like, every single day for multiple hours, and I honestly feel like I was putting a lot of strain on my physical body because I was also working, like, full shifts. Like, I was working, like, full time, and I just was running away from myself. Like, I didn't want to be still, and I have a big problem with that, like, now in life. Like, when I feel internally chaotic, I run. Like, I literally like to run, but, like, I have to move my body. Like, I have a dog Belgian Malinois, and he literally moves like his when he walks, he moves like a shark. Like it's almost as if he's like wading through the water. So I have like that shark energy where like sometimes I feel like if I'm not doing something, then I'm like gonna die kind of a thing. So it could be that that's like an energy that you've been living in, but even if not, like this take a nap energy is just calling you to just like relax, because I feel like with the energy of this rain happening in the background, like God is literally cleaning up the situation, which is why it kind of like all leads me back to that first energy that I was picking up on, where like you're not living in the manifestation probably right now, but there's stuff happening in between that should be like letting you know that the scene is kind of being set for you. Like there's like if you're like resonating with this, like you should be feeling confident even without the full manifestation, because there's evidence and proof that you're getting somewhere. And you might not, like, I'm seeing flashes, so like you might be thinking your manifestation looks one way and it might look something else, but I feel like when you get it, it's gonna be fulfilling. Like if this is like love relationship in any way, like this is just an example, you could be like talking to someone right now and you could be feeling like, oh yeah, like I'm getting like assurance and validation, and you might like the last manifestation, like the final form might not be that person. Like the person proposes to you and you get married to might not be that person, but this person is like meant to show you what you want in a way. It's like you're laying bricks. You're laying the bricks, and then as you continue to lay bricks, you look back on your past work, you're like, okay, well this is where I added too much of the paste cement thing. Next time I put a scoop of cement on there, I'll put less cement, because when I put that much cement, it starts to leak over, and I don't like how that looks. Like this is where you're at right now, where you're like figuring it out. If you're like training, like when I run, like there's a specific like rhythm that I like to be in that lets me know that I can endure the pace that I'm taking. So this could also be a time when you're like getting to know your body, like your machine, your process. Like I mentioned the whole like working at night thing for me. Because for some reason I just get more creative, I guess, at night, or like I have less eyes on me at night. I get a lot of like spiritual pressure because I'm a person who stays mostly to myself, but there are a lot of people in my life who focus on me. So it's harder for me to be effective during the day for some reason. When people are asleep and like the world kind of feels like it's still, that's when I kind of do my moves. When the world is still, and then we have a change in the wind. So literally, after it rains tomorrow, I'm gonna go and walk my dog in the morning time, probably. And it's gonna be like a whole new world out there. It'll look different. There'll be like earthworms in the street. But this is all meant to be happening. Like, this is all important. Okay, I'm gonna use a different deck now. I think I'm done with this deck. Next we have these Chakra Wisdom cards. I have an idea for a pick a card reading coming out. I pre-picked the cards and everything like a week ago. There's another thing about me, like recently it's been hard for me to produce this content. I don't know why. I think it's partially because of the anticipation for me to create content. Like, I think I need to like learn how to move in silence more, because I get these ideas and I'm like, I can't wait to share these ideas with people, and then like they find out that I'm coming out with ideas and they're like, oh, I can't wait till the idea happens, and then that like anxious energy like repels me from being able to work. Like that's a real thing, like not just like with me, but just manifestation in general. Like when you want something too bad, sometimes I can put a stall in the process of you, or your ability to receive that thing. So try not to be overly anxious in any like aspect of your manifestation process right now, because that could be the thing that puts the block in your path. Okay. But now there's nowhere to hide, 'cause you pushed my love aside. I'm out of my head, hopelessly devoted to you. There can be people also in your life like on the sidelines almost. Like they're not like, I don't even think you would directly think of these people as like being in your life, but like they're like side characters, maybe like looking in at you, because I feel like if you're like me, you're the kind of person who's like focused on themselves, like primarily. Like you don't really give a fuck about like most things going on around you. unless it like directly relates to like where you are, where you want to be. Like you could be someone who has like the blinders on, like a horse in a race. So you might notice like other players, like people competing with you, and that could be another thing that plays into like you feeling stagnated, you feeling unmotivated, like all those things. What do we need to know about things? We have victim and gratitude. So these are like opposite energies to me. Like it's hard to really be a victim when you feel grateful for your circumstances, even when those circumstances include struggle. That's coming out underneath mending. So if you're having a difficult time, like bridging a gap with someone or something, it could be because you're overly in a victim energy when you should be more in like this gratitude energy. So like maybe practice like finding the silver lining in things. I'm hearing like it's hard to predict where the lightning's gonna strike. Or when it's gonna strike. So like if you're like waiting by the phone for something, don't do that. If you're like tracking your weight loss progress, don't do that. Or at least do it less. You know what I'm saying? Don't, like if you're texting someone, don't like count how many hours it took for them to like respond to you. Cause that's all like kind of superficial shit. Like if you have a weight loss goal, it's because you want to improve yourself in some kind of way. Thank you for becoming a member, dude. What the fuck? That's awesome. I literally just you're the first member I've had, bro. I just made that shit. Dude, thanks. Ah! Someone just became a member. That's awesome. But yeah. Shit, I'm like happy that happened. I can't pretend I'm not. And I said, you never know when the lightning's gonna strike, right? So like I made a membership to this YouTube thing because I recently like became eligible due to my like viewing hours and stuff like that. And I've had this YouTube for like over a year now. So like I've been really passive about how this was gonna like turn out, and I didn't really know. We have forgiveness again, I mentioned that before. And then expansion. So like forgive yourself for how long it takes you to get to where you want to be, right? Because when I first made this YouTube account, I was thinking like, oh yeah, I'm gonna post like every week, and then I'm gonna get like a whole bunch of followers, because all the other YouTubers that I was looking at, like they had like thousands of followers, and then you never really know how long it took someone to get to where they've been or like where they are. So I think I was just like over anticipating too much success, because I got like a lot of followers on TikTok when I first made that when I was like 18, 19 years old. Like I got to like 10K within like a month, and that was like really like I felt really awesome about that. But like it just didn't work like that here. Like I'm still under 1,000 followers or subscribers on here. So I'm trying to just be like, okay, whatever, like it happens whenever it happens. And that's actually been working out, obviously, because I have a member now. And I'm feeling really grateful and not at all like a victim, because I feel like this is gonna like happen the way it needs to happen, and it's gonna be perfect and fine. Because if I had like all these followers on here, then I have the passive income, and I wouldn't even feel motivated right now to pursue another job. And that's what I'm thinking about it. Like I'm like, okay, if I had like all that rapid success right now through this, like I wouldn't be striving in my life the way that I am right now. So wherever you're feeling sufficient, that could even be a place where you need to look for motivation, right? Like whatever, that's just a thing. But I think I was saying before about like whatever your manifestations are, if it was like weight loss, for example, it should be because you want to improve yourself, not because you focus on like the number or on like anything like that. So like if it's you're trying to build a social media account, then like relax, because it's not about the following, it's about the influence that you can have in your position of authority. And that's really what God wants to reward the most, is like your true intention. So check in with your heart space here. Make sure that that's aligned with your manifestation and like with your goals in manifestation. Make sure that the two things are kind of aligned in like a straight line and not like a curvy line, because it makes it easier for the energy to kind of just like flow directly. Like when you're doing what God wants you to do, It's easy to be rewarded for that. So, like, you could be thinking right now, like, because I said that, like, what does God want me to do? But I feel like part of that pause, if you are in that pause, is for you to better understand that or better hear that. And a change of the wind, like, clean it up. Things could be happening in your life to make things a lot more clear to you what is what. Like, what's trash and what's trophy. Like, for example, with that, like, 2-year situationship that I had going on, like, I left that guy, and then, like, a couple of days later, this guy who had been, like, pestering me in my DMs, like, I gave him a shot, and he's nice to me. Like, he's nice in a way that guy never was. and that's, like, release. And then I felt, like, so stupid, because I was like, dude, why was I even, like, talking to that guy for so long when he was so mean to me? Like, he was literally so mean. And I didn't even really realize it because, like, I had completely blocked out everybody else. I was like, dude, like, whatever. Because I was so fixated on that guy. I was like, I have to have this guy because this is the guy that I want. But no, bro. There's, like, other stuff out there. And you might not be realizing what your options are because you're focused on what you feel like you're losing right now. And, like, making a different choice. Or choosing to step back. Or keeping to yourself in some kind of way. There's rain on this card too, the release card. And now it's not like pouring anymore outside. We have trickery and facade. Yeah, underneath a change in the wind. Dude, I feel like we have grief. There's been some stuff I feel like happening in your life. Like, there could have been some characters in your life that, like, appeared as soft and fuzzy creatures and weren't soft and fuzzy. Like, they were actually, like, kind of little demons, or, like, they could have there could have been, like, some, like, spell casting going on your heart space to keep you feeling stuck or limited. Like, a lot of these cards are green. We have, like, 3 green cards: grief, victim, and trickery. So this is kind of like the energy of people, like, playing on your weakness. But I think the good thing about this is, like, you actually aren't weak. And so you'll begin to realize that more and then exercise more of that, like, confidence in your autonomy when you're making choices. And they'll start to realize that they needed to make you feel weak because they were weak. And then that will kind of, like, rebalance the scales here. Underneath grief, we have discovery. So it's like as soon as it stops raining, the clouds are gone. You know, and then you have, like, clear skies. But you have to go through the downpouring process first. So whatever is happening that feels, like, really burdensome, it's really just a moment in time that was meant to happen to get you to the other side. Like, chicken crossing the road kind of shit. I almost got hit by a car today while I was on my hike. Because I got really distracted by the cows on the other side of the road. Because there's, like, a little farm, like, on the corner. And the cows literally came to the fence to, like, see me. And they were, like, friendly. And it was, like, a cool moment because they were, like, lifting up their legs. And they were, like, talking to me. Then, like, the cow went, like, flipping their ears around. And I started to, like, mirror their body language. And, like, I lifted up my leg whenever they lifted up their legs. And then I feel like I really, like, connected with the cows, dude. Like, it was cool. Like, I hope that next time I go by, they remember me. But then my dog started to bark at them, and then I took us away because I didn't want them to be scared of my dog. And he's never really been around cows before. And then the farmer dude, the guy who owns the cows, he saw me talking to his cows, and he, like, drove his little, like, golf cart thing down, and I guess he thought I was gonna, like, get scared and, like, run away from his golf cart. I don't know why, but I wasn't intimidated, and, like, I had a respectful distance from the gate. Like, I wasn't, like, all over the cows. I wasn't touching them or anything like that. I was just, like, I was looking at them and just, like, mirroring their body language, which is, like, basically how you talk to animals. Like, you just do what they do so they know that you're like them, and then after that they fuck with you. So you could be having experiences like that where you're just feeling, like, more connected to nature in itself. Or maybe you need to go out into nature to see signs. Because I also saw a really big snake on my walk. We passed, like, a big dead deer. We passed it a couple times. Like, it's been, like, decaying there for a while. Like, it's obviously dead, so it's not, like, moving around. But its entire rib cage is, like, exposed. And, like, all the meat that was in it or on it is, like, gone and decayed now. and then I picked up like one of the hooves. It's like came off, so I took it home and I put it in a jar. I also found the jawbone of a possum. I took that home too. I found a dead bird today too. I took it home and I buried it. It was like freshly dead, like its neck was still like wobbling around. But I have a lot of like I have a really close connection with the dead things, like just dead energy, like death itself, the energy of death. I have like a really close alliance to. Like when I was born, I was like halfway dead. So like I kind of came into the world like on like a golden ticket, kind of like if you think about probability wise, like I should have had to get open heart surgery. So like I met this other girl who had the same problem as me at birth, and she had this huge scar from when she had to get open heart surgery, and I never did. My holes in my heart healed on their own. So like you would never know that like I've been through the things that I've been through, and I feel like that's kind of like you. Like you have overcome something. Like I don't know what it was, but for me, like there were health things, and also like emotional things. And like I mentioned, like the heart, like there I had a suicidal period in my life. Like I used to have like really extreme mental health issues I had to take medications for. So I don't have to do that anymore. I have like my own outlet for the energy that I deal with, that I'm like battling with, and I go on things like hikes, or like, you know, I have vices, so like I smoke a lot. So like, you know, you have your own method here. I mentioned like understanding your body and how to like move through your life. So I feel like you're getting to the place now where you have some kind of balance, you have some kind of like defined authority in wielding the vices that you might have. And this is all like leading you towards accepting this next level of abundance, which will obviously come with an equal level of like stress, because that's just how life works. Like you never just get like anything that's all good. Like usually whenever you get a step up, it's not just in success, it's also in like challenge. So like in order to be ready for that, you might have to like make some adjustments, which might mean removing things or adding things in. Okay, next I'm going to use these angel cards. We'll just see like what assistance is coming in for you right now as you navigate these energies. I feel like there's something in my eye. Look, I got this Care Bear mug from Burlington. I used to really fucking love Care Bears. I had it on VHS as a kid. And the sticker, it was like a clearance mug. The sticker was $3.69. And I came home, I told my brother and my dad about like the healing frequencies. And 369 is the key to the universe. So I really like to drink the coffee out of this mug, because I've been feeling like, oh yeah, I got the key to the universe in my mug. Ah. So like I'm drinking like I'm like drinking the key to the universe, or like I wield the key to the universe, or whatever the fuck. But I don't know, maybe some of your manifestations aren't just like things. It's just like access, you know? I feel like that could be something that's coming in, is like I have more access, or like I have more, like, I know the code, I know how to read the code, or like I know how to like use the code or something like that, you know? Like the Matrix type shit, like follow the white rabbit type shit, like Trinity type shit, because we have a fucking triangle on the bitch. I'm fucking with the sneeze. If I sneeze, I'm sorry. I have a really loud sneeze. It could come as a shock how loud my sneeze is. It's a really loud, violent sneeze. Okay, so what assistance are you receiving right now as you navigate life towards your manifestations, in your journey, all that good stuff? Please make it super clear. You could have a lot of assistance. I have a lot of assistance. I feel like the universe really just loves me though. I mentioned in the first part of this reading that number 11, and I'm a life path number 11, which is a master number. So like I feel like I do kind of have the key to the universe. Like God made sure that at a young age I had a very close connection with him. So like I even joined my childhood church because I wanted to at age 7. I always loved church. Like I love to be in that place. It's just like comforting to me to like congregate and to worship God. Like I literally genuinely love that shit. Like no all corny cringe shit aside, I love worshiping God. So like that happened at like 7 years old because I wanted to. I would go to Bible study on like Wednesdays with my grandma like every single week. I was in the choir. Like, I was heavily involved in my church growing up. And then I got baptized at 14. And then I also started to learn how to read tarot at 14. And then when I turned 21, that's when I started to notice myself going darker. Like, and that's interesting as a concept too, right? Because just because you are a child of God does not mean that you don't wield the dark side of the force, you know? Like, I had to learn that because I was like, at one point in my life, I was like really judging myself because I was like, oh my God, I feel like a villain. I feel like that's the way that I'm being painted out in the world, as if like everyone is like mad at me for what things that I do for myself because I feel like I should. So if that's what you're going through in any kind of way, like socially, like the repercussions of your ascension could be differentiation. It could be scapegoating. You could be put down like Jesus Christ did. He was literally crucified because everybody was like, we hate this guy. So like that could be happening for you. And if that's happening, like that can definitely be like something that's depressing. So I have like empathy for that if that is happening for you. 11 was your football jersey number from Pee Wee to Juka. Cool. Cool. I love the number 11. Even the second character from Stranger Things, her name was 11. And, you know, football is like it's a sport where you're dodging attacks on your offense. Like, your goal is to get the ball into the side of the field that you want it to be in. And then all the while, there's people coming in to stop you. So I wouldn't have been surprised if you were, like, really good at outmaneuvering or even predicting other people's, like, offensive strategies towards you. Because I'm really good at that, like, spiritually. A lot of my, like, conflicts, battles, we'll say, like, they're not necessarily, like, fist fights. Because I live in this really weird mix of, like, masculine and feminine where, like, I'm a girl. But, like, so it's weird to explain. How do I explain that? Most of the time, people who don't like me don't just like walk up to me and be like, I don't like you, basically. It's just like, it's like slick shit. There's a lot of slick shit going on around me. So I can predict, like I've learned how to feel out people really well. Like, you don't have to tell me you don't like me before I find out that you don't like me. You don't even have to really offend me before I find out that you don't like me, because I can like sniff it in the air, bro. I can smell it up. That's one thing about me. And I spend so much time alone, and people think that like I've become jaded because of that, and I'm not a jaded person, like, at all. I just know when people are on op shit. Okay, what angelic assistance are you receiving right now? They're hesitant to reveal themselves. I wonder if you, like, in any way are afraid or closed off to some of your abilities when it comes to, like, your psychicness. You know, like, because it's, like, usually these cards speak. But I've been shuffling for a while. Okay, and then Angel of Sky, and it's raining. So the cleansing energy, changing the wind, and then clean it up is, like, relevant here. Thunder. I literally called upon Zeus while I was making empanadas the other day. To, like, and then I was, like, asking Zeus to help, because I fried it in the rain. It's been raining here for a while. I called upon Zeus to help fortify my body and to make the food especially nourishing so that it can carry me forward to my manifestations, to my goals, to my aspirations. So you might want to do something like that, where, like, as you're cooking, be like, God, show me exactly what to do as I'm doing this so that it'll be, like, the most nurturing thing it could be. If you're exercising, like, show me exactly what to do. Like, there's been times, like, in the gym where I thought I was, like, doing the exercise, like, right, and then all of a sudden I got the idea to, like, oh, like, okay, so, I don't know, what's that thing called when you're, like, doing the hip things, like, when you're like this in the gym? Like, one time I got it, like, I was just doing it, like, regular sitting up for, like, forever, and, like, it was, like, you know, it was hurting and shit, like, it was working, like, my muscles were, like, burning and shit, but then I saw this one girl who, like, leaned forward and, like, held the machine while she did it, and I was like, oh, shit, this just changed the game entirely. So, like, be open to even taking inspiration from other people right now, because the sky could not just be, like, the sky, but people who are in higher positions, right? Like, don't be afraid to, we have Angel of Mysteries, like, be receptive to the subtler ways that, like, your guides are communicating to you how you could improve yourself. My cat just pulled up. Shadow cat. Your shadow could be, like, jealousy. So when you get in the gym, for example, if you see somebody doing something better than you, you could be like, ugh, who does she think she is? doing it like that. Instead, you could be like, oh, okay, I see that. I fuck with that. I want to try that. You know? Like, everybody has a shadow, right? So, like, mine is in Aries. So it can be, like, threats to my pride or my ego can be difficult. Like, for example, I was in the kitchen cooking. Exactly. And, I was doing it my way, like the way that I wanted to do it, and I was comfortable doing it. And then my dad came in, and he like was like, "This is a better knife to cut these vegetables with." And I was like, "Why are you like? This is the knife I want to use, right?" But instead of being like that, I could have been like, "Okay, let me see this surprisingly more efficient knife. Let me just try this knife out." But like he gave it to me, and I used it like twice, and then I put it away because I was like, "This is the knife I want to use." Like, who are you to tell me how to cut vegetables? Like, I want to do it my way. So I could work on that too, you know, like being more open to guidance, you know, not assuming that I know every way to do everything. And then the card, Angel of Mysteries, came out again, dude. So I feel like, you know, things could be actually kept from you on purpose. We have the Angel of Cater, the Crown Spirituality. These are all higher energies. You have the sky, mysteries, and spirituality. Like, this is like protection and assistance that you can't really see or wouldn't maybe even attribute to being angelic. Which might, like, I don't want to say call into question, but it might mean that you need to strengthen your connection with your guides better. Like, strengthen your connection with your guides better. More. Like, I mentioned code before. Like, I have, like, part of the way that I interpret my reality is by telling the world how I interpret it and then allowing it to reinforce my interpretation. So, like, my grandfather passed away, like, a couple years ago, and we were really close. Like, I literally held his hand on his deathbed. And whenever I see turtles, I know that's him. If I see a whale, him. If I see his name, that's him. His birthday on the clock, like, 12:01, that's him. So, like, I have ways, like, I've already, like, kind of agreed with the universe what will make me feel confident. So you might need to like create your own code. It doesn't have to be my code, you know, like whatever your thing is. But like I have another thing where it's like if I see a yellow truck, that's good luck. Like when I'm driving. If I see a Durango, that's good luck. Blue cars are Archangel Michael for me, like while I'm driving. He's protective and defensive. I count red trucks whenever I go places, like longer trips. What are my other little things? You know, I even like, you know, have these little stuffed animals that I make for purposes that I determine for them. Like I give them little missions. So like, you know, whatever your way of connecting is or could be, now is a time like where you might want to refortify what your communication style is going to be moving forward. Because it may be that, like, part of the thing that's keeping you from moving into some of these new positions of power or, like, manifestations that are, like, greater or more abundant is your guides want to make sure that they can speak to you to communicate their intent to you to carry out in that role or, like, with that manifestation. Because the crown, you know, it's a royal energy, but heavy is the head that wears the crown. So it makes me feel like you're going to have responsibilities. Like, whatever is coming along with this manifestation in whatever area, could be multiple, is responsibility. So I think the angelic forces in your life that are, like, responsible for giving you this thing want to make sure that you are ready for what it requires of you. You guys can't see her, but my cat is here. And she's my angel baby cat of darkness. So you could have darker protection. Like, I'm literally recording this, like, in nighttime while it's raining. So you could be like me, and you could be, like, kind of, like, I'm going to use, like, a Star Wars reference, but you could be, like, kind of, like, gray Sith or, like, gray Jedi. I don't think that you're, like, a completely good or bad person. I think that's kind of part of you being you, though. Because I'm definitely, like, I have friends on the other side. Like, I'm friends with the light, and I'm also friends with the dark. It's important for me to be able to, like, have both of those connections. Like, I mentioned that, like, I started out in church, which we would, like, kind of attribute with being, like, this more lighter aspect. And like when I started my account, it was so that I could share positivity. But things in my life, like life has pressured me so that I can be able to go to the dark. So I'm in the dark now. Not like exclusively, but I'm working on like mastering the dark. Angel of memory. So there could even be like some kind of past life, something from your past is relevant to this. Like, as you move into integrating some of your darkness, it could be important to know who you are or like where your family comes from. Because it might give you some like feeling of justification to wield some of this darkness. Like when you know who you are. Like for example, I have Jewish ancestry, and so like a lot of times I get like frustrated because I'm like, why does everybody want to bully me all the time? But then I remember like there was a whole like Holocaust and shit. So it kind of makes sense that like even people today, like due to their ancestry and their like genetic predisposition, that they might want to like kind of bully me because I come from people who get bullied, you know? So it's something like that. Like, you know, like it might make more sense to you what you're dealing with in terms of your karma in this life when you think about where you've already been or where you're coming into this life like kind of carrying on your back. It's not to say that my soul would have always been like a Jewish soul. Like, I don't know that that's true. But like in this life, I deal with the fact that I get a lot of persecution from the world around me. So instead of resisting that, I can just become aware of that trend and that pattern. And then even the experience of it becomes less of like a personal thing and more just like a reality of what it means for me to be alive right now. In this life. In this body. And then I also know that I've been saved also from a lot of like worse things. Which gives me like more of this like crown, like position of righteousness in my existence. Like, yeah, everybody wants to, like, everybody hates Chris, and yet I'm still here. Can I have one more? Thanks. We have Angel of Night. Yeah, I think you're working with some people on the dark side. And I don't know that you know who those people are, because it doesn't have to be their actual angels. Like, for me, one of my ancestors that I work with is my uncle. He's actually like a gangbanger. Like, he was like maybe not the nicest guy while he was alive. But he loves me. So there could be some kind of like people on the other side, you know? Like, my grandfather, even the one I reference all the time, like, and he's a good guy to me, but he also like had eczema like all over his body. Like, he was like a human lizard. Like, he was very like, scaly guy. Like, his past was maybe not so light, pretty dark actually, but he had a lot of protectiveness over me. Like, he took me to the bus stop for school every day. Make sure I was always on time for stuff. So like there could be stuff like that coming into your life, like some kind of protection that you wouldn't even maybe think of, because it's protection from the dark, and you being like maybe this more light oriented person wouldn't even register it as being there or even relevant to your life. But the dark knows the dark better than the light knows the dark, if that makes sense. So that's why you might want to decide to take an interest in the dark, because there is a natural balance of both things in this world. So to not know the dark side of things is to kind of like leave yourself vulnerable to things. I even like studied the devil at one point because I felt like I needed to, because I had such a focus on like God that I just didn't understand the devil really, because I was just like, oh, the devil's bad, like push him away. But maybe you need to like become more aware and not be afraid of things that go beyond your comfort zone, especially in the realm of spirituality, because I feel like there's room for you to grow there specifically. Okay. I think that's it for those oracle cards. Now I want to use this untamed animal spirit. I gotta think of like what question I'm meant to be asking. These are like personality traits. So let's see, like, what traits do you need to live in more right now that might help you get to your manifestations quicker? We have whale. I literally just mentioned that, my grandpa. Before you go, I want to ask a question. Do you still post on Spotify? Dude, honestly, no. I'm honestly trying to like consolidate my social media presence as of right now, because for the job I'm trying to get, I need to be like a good like role model poster person. So I don't want to like say too many things and then end up like basically cock blocking my own success. And then once I get that job, like my time and availability, like spiritually, to give to the collective is probably gonna go down. Like just honestly speaking. So like these could even be some of my last readings. Like I don't really know. Like it could go either way, because I've already been doing this for like a while. So honestly, like it's not even like my like it's a passion of mine, but it's not like my end all be all anymore. Like like it's just not. And then honestly, I wasn't even I was starting to feel like I wasn't getting enough in return for what I offer. So that's probably the reason why I added the membership and stuff, because like I feel like I need to get more out of what I give to like all these thousands of people. So my TikTok isn't even that active right now, because I was just like, people were just looking at me and then emailing me, and then I was like stressed out all the time. I didn't know why. I couldn't pinpoint it because I didn't know who it was. Like it's like random people on the internet who are just like disliking me. So it's like content creation is awesome. It's a blessing. I'm glad that I was like given a platform and stuff like that. But it's also like burdensome as fuck, because I feel like people are like always watching me, and then if I'm not like for example, someone will, like book a reading with me, and then I'll just be like living my life, right? Like I'm not even like checking my thing every single day, and I'll post like something like just for me, like just because I wanted to post it, and then people like I'm psychic as fuck. Like I'm clairaudient. I can like hear people's thoughts, right? So like I'll post some shit, and then I'll hear like this voice in my head that's like, oh, but you could post this, but you couldn't do this, that, and the third. And I'm like, I'm like, bro, I'm just in my house, like, I'm just having a cup of coffee, like, like, leave me alone. Like, just because I do this, like, I offer my service, it doesn't mean I'm like constantly on standby to like offer up my psychic energy to like anybody who sends me money. Like I have to like work up the energy and shit. Like I genuinely do. It's just it's a lot of burden. I just don't feel like people really know that, because people are used to like fake ass readers who just like, either just scrape the surface or like don't even know what they're talking about. Like that was what the whole like trend was all about, was that people were just like doing love readings and telling people that like their boyfriend or their ex was gonna come back and stuff like that. And like, I don't even really do that kind of stuff. So I'm not that guy, basically. You know my posts for most, and you really appreciate my readings and advice. I honestly can't spend too much time on this right now, just because I'm in the middle of a personal reading for someone else. But there should be a button for memberships, and thank you for checking me out. I appreciate that. So, focusing again, what traits do you need to know to align most or best with your manifestation that you're trying to call in any and all aspects of your life? We have sea turtle. Okay, more grandpa energy. That's 2 times the grandpa energy. Longevity and introspection. The cat's putting her paw on me. Sea turtles can hold their breath for a long time. I'm getting this like stamina energy off of you. Like leaning into stamina. And then also it's like deep diving into the darkness. So I mentioned that like aspect of your spirituality needing kind of improvement. Like this could be the energy of shadow work. So I got blocked by somebody the other day. And at first I was like, fuck you for blocking me, you're just sensitive, But then I was talking to myself, because that's what I do. Like whenever I'm like dealing with any kind of like emotional stress, I talk to myself the same way I talk to you guys right now. Like I literally will just talk to myself and go back and forth with myself. Like it sounds insane to people in my house who have to hear me do this, but like it works for me. Like it helps me like get through my shit. So you might need to do some like internal discussion, even if it's not out loud, if it's just like on paper, like writing things out, like journaling. Because you might need to become more acquainted with yourself and your shadow. Because if you're like experiencing manifestations, because not every manifestation is like the one that you want, right? Like, how can I give an example of this? for example, I got blocked. And it was because I was being, like, kind of bratty. So I had to, like, talk to myself about the fact that I was being kind of bratty. Like, at first I didn't really want to accept the fact that I was being a brat and that I kind of was a jerk and I kind of deserved what I was getting to an extent. I got unblocked, and it was just because, like, he wanted to. But, like, I kind of did deserve kind of getting blocked a little bit. Like, I kind of did. So I had to, like, you know, be real with myself about that. I kind of had to be real about that because, like, I was in that situation because I deserved to be there. And if you're resisting that, it's going to make it maybe even harder for you to get out. Because the more time you spend committed to being the victim, the harder it is for you to have gratitude. You know? Like, these cards came out together. Underneath mending in the reverse. An angel of the sky. So it's like, you know, Zeus, is this how you face me? So if you're, like, in a situation, you're like, oh, this sucks. Remember that you kind of put yourself there, probably. Like, in some kind of way, you probably contributed to the fact that you're being seen in a certain light or treated in a certain way. And you don't have to stay there, you know? But it's like, there's just something about, like, becoming more aware of yourself here. Like, don't try to, like, magic your way out of anything or whatever. Like, if you're in a spot, be in that spot until you're released from that spot. We have the squirrel, play, and resources. Like, don't play victim if you're not the victim. And don't underestimate the things that you do as being offensive to others or as having repercussion in the long term, you know? Squirrels also, like, you know, gather resources for hibernation. So, like, look to the future. Look to the future to dictate how you should behave right now. Don't be a narrow-minded person where you can't see beyond the current moment. Be aware of the impressions that you, like, are giving off about who you are as a person. When you take actions or when you're fixated or focused on, like, short-term results, or when you're lashing out, be aware that, like, just because you might move on from things quickly, other people may not. And then you might get frustrated with them because they're still there, and you want to just move on, and they're not ready to. And if that's not you, that could be someone else in your life who's dealing with you. Like, I dealt with a situation recently where I was getting a lot of, like, pressure from people who weren't even, like, directly in my life. How do I explain this? We have Peacock at the bottom of the deck. So there could be people, like, connected to people who are important to you in some way. Or just, like, some kind of, like, third party. Like, they're not, like, directly attached to you. Like, they're, like, attached to something else. And they could be sending energy towards you, and then you could react to that energy and then, like, sway or, like, move. And then they're like, okay, I want you to, like, come back towards me now because I'm uncomfortable with the distance that I kind of created or that you created through a perceived necessity. Because now it's harder for me to reach out to you. Like, I'm dealing with that with, like, a couple people in my life right now. So that could be you. Like, you could be hibernating right now. Because the sea turtle also has a shell. It's thick as fuck. And I was talking about, like, moving in silence earlier. We have the links. You could have this energy of people looking in on you. We have invisibility and revelation. Because people want to see you. And I feel like you're hard to see. We have squirrel and sea turtle upright, and then the links in the reverse. And then otter in the reverse. So at this time, you could not be the most social. Like, you could just not have a lot to give in terms of, like, emotional bandwidth. And then my shadow cat's, like, messing with stuff in the background. And I call her my shadow cat because she's honestly a jerk. But she's the jerk of my life. Like, she is my cat, but operates on behalf of sometimes other things. So I get frustrated with her because I don't understand why she doesn't think that she does, but like, you know, a lot of times she's carrying out that darker energy that needs to find its way towards me. Just so I can be aware of it, if for no other reason. You could feel like you need to kind of like hide away from the groups that you're normally a part of, and that's like justified in this energy because you're preparing for what's about to come in for you. And self-interested energy is not bad. It's not necessarily even selfish. Like people might say that it is. So like I mentioned before, like this whole like crucifixion energy. It's just Tim. Yeah, the protective energy is high. Like I literally said crucifixion and then my guard dog starts guarding. Good boy. I love you. You're the best. Come here. Bless you. Bless you. Bless you. Bless you. You're a good boy. But yeah, literally. There could be, you know, like just real straight up hate, if not like occasional death wishes. I don't know how extreme it is for like each of you. But if you're perceiving things, you don't have to like be like, oh, that could never happen. Because it could. And you never know what's going on in somebody else's mind, like as they think of you. And some people are going to be like, in this energy, not for long. Because I feel like you're the kind of person people are like readily threatened by for whatever reason. Like people kind of perceive you and they're like, okay, immediately friend or foe. And people who choose foe too quickly usually feel stuck on that side. Like if they put you on the foe side too quickly, usually they figure out they want you as a friend instead. And then they feel like they're stuck on the enemy side because that's what they chose, you know? So people who are your enemy right now might be upset with the fact that they have to stay that way. And that could be sending you some kind of energy, like, you know, just like, but you're protected from all that. Like, don't worry about that. Like, I mean, like, know that it's happening, but don't worry about it actually, like, affecting you more than God will allow it to. So, yeah. Okay, is there anything else I want to talk about? I didn't even really use any tarot. Like, I feel like I want to use tarot or something. I just don't know. Okay, let's talk about, like, specifically what manifestations could be coming in for you. And I'm going to use this deck that the incense ash landed on, because it feels like, you know, like, it cleansed all the negativity, and then now we can talk about what's coming in after the entire stick is burnt. That feels like the right thing to do. Yeah! Yeah, you're not, like, seeing this coming. This is on the horizon. You won't be able to predict the timing of this thing. Or the method in which it comes in towards you, to you. But in the meantime, you still have your 3 of Cups. So remember that, like, you're not lacking anything right now. Like, everything that you're meant to have, that God wants you to have, you have. And that's where you probably have some room to improve, because this gratitude energy came out with the Victim. And the squirrel, he's here with the acorn. Like, whatever you have in terms of resources is still valuable, even if it isn't, like, 10 acorn, then it's just 1 acorn. This is kind of giving me, like, James and the Giant Peach energy. Just like Roald Dahl, which I fucking love. I will fucking love Roald Dahl. He writes the craziest stories, but they're, like, awesome. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. It's another thing that reminds me of my grandpa. I'm talking so fast. Ah! I have Mercury in retrograde on my birth chart, so it's, like, really funny and weird to me that, like, I am, like, a speaker for my work, because, like, I stutter and I talk fast at the same time. It's like, how did I end up doing this? But whatever. Yeah. You could have a golden ticket, like, en route, you know? And you're thinking, oh, I'm just poor, you know? Don't underestimate your value because of how other people respond to your value. Because it's a, you know, it's a good chance they don't even recognize value when it's in front of them. Like, people who are meant to recognize you and your value will. Like, and you won't have to convince them to do that. When you know, you know. Lana Del Rey, type shit. Okay, what's coming in? What are the manifestations that are coming in? We have the Knight of Wands. Could be some inspiration, motivation, if not just the fulfillment. Like if it's a very specific thing that you've a job you've applied for, or like a car that you saved up for. It could be literally just the thing that you want. But if not, if it's a more general thing like, oh, I want to be a rapper, and then all of a sudden you like one day you sit down at the desk and you write the song, and that makes you like, oh my god, I should be a rapper. Like, you know, like it's like the confidence could be coming in for you. For me, it's the motivation to like fulfill these orders. It's like God's making sure that I am where I need to be a vessel for other people. Knight is servitude. So don't be afraid to give to other people in order to get to where you want to be. Not because it's like transactional, but because it's like that's natural. If you want to receive something, you might have to give something. Like if you, for example, like you're in a workplace, something like that, and you want to move up and be promoted, you might have to start to perform some of those job roles that aren't necessarily on your job description to prove to your boss that you can do those job roles. Like, people might need to see you being a way to really believe that you are that way. So don't be afraid to, like, demonstrate. A lot of fire energy here. So action. Like the opportunity to take action, or the motivation to take action, or just a clear vision of what actions to take that will be productive for you. And the more fire with the Five of Wands in the reverse. So a lack of competition, like a more even playing fields maybe. Or just more that confidence that even if there is competition, it's like you understand that you're not really competing for what's meant for you. Like my dad told me when I was running track, to not really worry about what I placed and be more focused on like my race against myself and my time. Ace of Swords in reverse. Judgment in reverse. Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Dude, two aces at one time. And then the Knight of Swords, it's just like quick moving. First Ace of Swords is the first quickest moving, and then the Knight of Wands is like the second quickest moving. So it's like, no matter what, right now you're still moving forward. But there could be a breakthrough that's like on the horizon, or like after this cleansing, because it's coming on top of the change in the wind. Something might have to happen before something else can happen. But you are still moving towards that like event. And all the while you're gaining the confidence and the fact that that's over the horizon for you. Why is the Knight of Wands here? Four of Wands. Dude, everything is awesome. Everything is cool when you're part of a team. Everything is awesome. A lot of Knights here. Knight of Cups now. So you might start to feel more like idealistic. You know, like it's like the universe itself is kind of like massaging your brain. And then it's coming out with this energy like of soulmates and take a nap. So it might sound counterproductive, but taking rest can actually put you to where you want to be. Because this is like kind of seeming to me like a recalibration time. Like when you're being relaxed enough to be submissive and like malleable. Like if you were active and just moving towards the goals you had before, you would not be able to maybe course correct the way that you can when you have this higher vantage point. So now's the time to really be like open to what is available in the form of inspiration and guidance through signs and through like just how things make you feel. This feeling is kind of important here. Like if you've been all action and no relaxation, you might not be in as much of a feeling energy as you might think that you are, because you could be like performing a role that makes you almost robotic or whatever. Queen of Cups, like feeling is important in this energy, and it's coming out in the reverse, so you might need to like give out less, receive more. Insist less, demand less, and like kind of relax passively into what's coming for you. Because you might not have to force anything to happen. It could just be that you're just literally, like there could be a countdown on days until you get to what you want, and you can't like really make time shorter. You know, like you can't will a natural or due process to happen or come to a close faster than it naturally or will. You know what I'm saying? Like it just, some things just are how they are, and that's how they should be. Like with that like Lego movie energy, it's like things are going to click into place naturally. So that's where that gratitude kind of comes into play, because if you're okay with however things are right now, it makes it easier for the time to just pass. Like you'll find yourself even maybe like finding other productive things to do in the meantime. Yeah, 3 of Cups, dude. Happy outcomes. Foreseen, for sure. There's gonna be like something tangible. Yeah, 4 of Pentacles in the reverse. So like don't hold on too tight to whatever that thing is that you want to happen, because that's the energy that will repel it from happening. Don't be pessimistic. Don't think of the worst. And when you find yourself thinking of the worst, understand how to relax yourself back into passive, submissive receptiveness. Because I feel like whatever it is that you want, you can't give to yourself. Like you have to just be okay with it happening how it's meant to. Like I mentioned my like YouTube subscribers and stuff like that. Like I can't make people follow me on here. Like I can be like, hey, subscribe to my channel. And maybe I should say that more. I don't know. But like whenever people want to, they will. Whenever someone wants to book a reading with me, they will. It's not because I'm hounding them to do it, you know? It's because they want to, and the opportunity is there, and they recognize the value in that. And I can't make anybody else do that. So it's easier for me to manifest money or to manifest opportunities to promote myself when I'm not attached to those opportunities. Because I have the mindset now where I know that there will be another one, even if it's not as soon as I think it should be. And I'm less attached to, you know, the views. Because before I was like, I'm making money from the views. But now I understand that that money can come to me in other forms. I don't have to get anything in just one way, because I'm limitless in the way that I can receive abundance in the world, in the universe. And that could be something that's good to like reinforce in your own mind. It's like I'm not limited in how I can receive guidance. I'm not limited in how I can receive abundance. I'm not limited in how I can receive love. Because when you have those perceptions of limitation, it can make you overly cling or attach to things that maybe don't serve you in life. And that could be a blockage that you are being called to like pay attention to right now. It's like, where am I like holding on to things that don't serve me right now? Or where am I holding on to perceptions of limitation? And how does that affect how I feel about my life and the circumstances of it? And how does that affect my manifestations? Am I being impatient? Can I see the whole picture from where I'm standing right now, or do I need to change something about work, my positioning, to be able to see things better? Am I over relying on advice from people around me who don't see themselves the way I see myself? Like if you're seeing yourself like a grade A person, capable of like doing anything you want, like a superhero, are you taking advice from like peons? How does that affect how you move in the world and you know? Because that's where some of this accountability can come in, because you have to like remind yourself you can only really bring in what you think that you are worth and deserving of. And so when you feel frustrated because you're losing things or things aren't coming in the way that you want it to, there's probably something about your own mindset that attributes to that, like something that contributes to that you could maybe tweak in this like stillness. Like, because the only thing you really can control is yourself. Which is why that introspection energy is here. Like, you might need more stillness just to become aware of what's passing you by, or like what's around you. And yeah, and then we have owl too. And that narwhal is here too, dude. Because you're different. You're a different breed. This is like a fucking freaky ass creature, dude. Only exists in like one part of the world. Like, you probably are pretty unique. And so what you want out of life might require unique strategy. So when you're like trying to communicate to others what your vision is, they might be like in their head like, this guy's crazy. This guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Like, this guy thinks he can have things that he can't have, when he can have it and should have it. And you don't wanna, you don't even need to be probably sharing your aspirations as much as you might think you do. This could be a time when like you really probably do want to learn how to be more sneaky with your moves. Keep things to yourself more. Because not everybody wants to see you sit in the position of authority that you deserve. Like, I mentioned the whole like TikTok thing where like I'll post a video and people will be like, well, give me what I want. So like people who don't have the opportunity to passively receive might judge me for the fact that I can. Might be like, you're not working hard enough, or that you're lazy. And I do experience that. So that's a result of, you know, the difference in my mindset versus theirs. Like, I've started at a young age to create avenues for which money can come to me passively. It's creative authority. And I get to determine what my time is worth, and, you know, all that stuff. People who haven't given themselves that freedom will feel limited in relation to you. And if you're hearing that and you're like, well, I want to be like that, you probably have to start now. Like, you need to figure out how you're going to open up some of these opportunities for yourself if you're unhappy with where you currently are positioned. Because there's always, like, room for you to change at any time. Because uniqueness and freedom makes you feel like you... Like, I mentioned my Aquarius Mars, so, like, I used to job hop a lot before this. Like, it was hard for me to stay at one job for a long time if it didn't, like, really fulfill me, my sense of purpose. So you might need to find something, if not multiple things, because like one job might not fit everything for you, but like you might have a job that you really like, and then you also need to have something else that you also really like a hobby or something like that you like, you feel fulfilled by. Okay. Okay, let's try to like close it out with like one more oracle deck. We have the Magician. So you're really like, you're attractive right now to whatever you want. Just to say that. You are. You don't have to worry about wanting things and then not being able to get them because they're not right for you. Because I feel like you're the kind of person who's led to want things that you can't have. You're not like someone who flunked school and wants to be an astronaut, you know? Like... That would be kind of like dumb, you know, like, you know that you're not really that smart or good at science or math, but you want to like be an astronaut. You're someone who has like rational desires, so believe that, you know, like believe it, like Naruto Uzumaki, bro. Nobody thought that guy was going to be Hokage, and then he was. Okay, closing guidance, please. We have the Spirit Owl. Dude, owl squared. Athena could be like relevant here. Grand strategy is her whole thing. So like high vantage point. You're getting like ideas from above. We also had like the angel of the sky before. And like owls can turn their head like completely 360. So nothing's gonna get past you. You're not gonna miss anything that's meant for you either. Sovereign Queen. Dude, this is like really fucking powerful energy to close out with. And then it's a 20 and then a 40, which is like a doubling. And then Sacrament of Extreme Unction? It's a new word for me. So you could be learning something. part of the process in between you doubling in some kind of way, if not just like in your significance, is the learning of a new thing. Like learning how to read tarot made me my independent value grow, because now I can offer my knowledge to other people. But you probably already know how to do something, which is what I'm trying to call to your attention, is that you could have some kind of special interest. Like I was trying to I was trying to tell my brother the other day he should like start streaming his video game playing, because he plays video games like all the time. Like, why is he not streaming it? You know, people will watch that shit. Like, you need to kind of maybe even believe in the value of what you already do as being worth contributing to the world more, so that people can reinforce that to you through their investment into you. But if you don't believe that you're worth investing in, then like people won't be able to invest in you, because you won't be doing anything that they can invest in. Spirit of the bear. So this could be some like encouragement for you to have more confidence, to like kind of fortify your image of yourself, your personal value, so that you can kind of promote yourself more. Yeah. Ideas on how to promote yourself and how to be rewarded for what you do already. Ideas on where to look for increased knowledge that will add to what you already do. Ideas on how to share your value with other people. Confidence in the fact that your ideas are worth something when shared. Confidence in your ability to like expand your dominion. That my dog who's been barking, his name is Dominion. So your divine masculine energy could need some healing or like some work, because you might not feel very powerful. And I feel like you are a really powerful person. Seraph here, which is my cat's name. And she was on my lap, but you couldn't see her. So I feel like there's something about like you need to just kind of jump into some of this personal power of yours, because you're coming with the owl twice and the bear. And the magician here, but at the bottom of the deck. So it's like, and death. Fuck. You need to like kind of remind yourself that you're the shit here. There's something that you can probably do, and it'll feel like a risk at first, but then something will happen. Like these angels that you have, these spirit guys that you have, will make sure that you feel confident in what you've done. Like, it's like when you post a selfie and then like on your Instagram story and someone likes it, and then you're like, oh yeah, I am attractive. It's that kind of a thing. Like I made that membership page, and then someone joined my membership. Like, it's only been like a week since I made it. So like the universe is gonna come in to make sure that you feel confident in the continuation of investment of effort in any direction that you feel called to invest effort. So just believe in that happening, and take heed to that, accept it, and let that instance, whenever it is, in whatever form it takes, give you that confidence that you need to get, that you need to have to keep doing it. Because consistency could be another thing that you kind of lack a little bit when it comes to investing effort into new directions that aren't as rewarded or like validated for you personally, individually. Like, you might get validated for things that you do that help everybody, but you might not get as much validation for things that you do for yourself. So try to, like, if not give it to yourself, be open to alternative ways of receiving validation. Okay. That's what I have for this one. I might record another one tonight. I don't know. But thank you. And I hope you enjoyed it. Oh my god, I can't edit.